Hello everyone, myself Kamna Singh, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss the topic staffing in software projects. Whenever we are going to implement any software projects or any type of projects, there are if that particular project is a large project, at that time we need a team. And in this particular discussion, we are going to discuss about how the team members are there, what are the main skills for the team members, what are the relationship between the team members. So in this particular discussion, we are going to discuss about the staffing in the software projects. And these are the contents for the discussion. That is, first of all, we have to understand that how to manage people in the organization. There are so many level of hierarchy of the teams or hierarchy of the person that may be possible. There is a chief level, and then next a team leader level, and there is a worker team are there. So there is a hierarchy of the team members. So how to manage all the hierarchy of the particular organization. So in this particular time, managing people, how to manage that particular people, and the organizational behavior we are going to discuss, and how to select the best staff for developing any software project. There are so many models are there. In this particular discussion, we are going to discuss the Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model. Exam point of view, Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model is very important. Next is the managing people. In the organization, there are different type of people is there, and how these people is to be collect and to make a team, and then how to select. The first of all, there are 4 concerns for the managing people. The first one is the staff selection, how to select the staff, and then how to develop the staff. Develop the staffing means when we are creating the team, may be possible in the team members there are some conflicts arises, or a role ambiguity is there. At that moment, how these particular team members relationship will be developed for removing the role ambiguity or some particular enrichment of their team members work. So, and there is a third one is the staff motivation is there. In the staff motivation, that how to motivate people to work as a desired work should be there. And there are so many models for the motivation of the staff. There are some Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model is there, Taylorist model, and there is a Herbach 2-factory model. All these models we will discuss and further. And the last one, last major factor about the managing people is continue to the well-being staff during the course of the project. So whenever we are going to develop the project, team is selected, whatever the best team will be selected. You are instructing in a best way, but the thing is that that particular team is always not in the right path. Then how you are going to manage as a project manager, how you are going to manage that particular team, how you can resolve the conflicts among the team members. All these things will be way, and so that you have to motivate if that particular desired result or desired outcome will be there. So how you are going to motivate all the team members as an individual and total team is there. So there are 4 main factors for managing the people. The first one is the staff selection, development, motivation, and the continuity of the project. This is the project. Actually, this particular model is the project planning model, and in this particular project model, there are some particular stage. In this particular stages, we also need some team. Whenever we are going to develop the particular project, the first phase is that you are going to select the topic or which particular project you are going to develop that particular project, so that you have to identify the project objectives should be there. For identifying the project objective, there is a STAR committee is there, and the STAR committee having a strategic planning is there. In the STAR committee can whatever the feasibility and the scope is to be decided by the STAR committee, and identify the project objectives are there. So these objectives may be possible. There is a risk factor is also involved when we are going to make the objective or creating that particular project. So every time we have to understand what are the risk factor or the some health issues involved, and that particular when we are creating the project objective. So in these particular factors should be involved, and if the health issues was there or the safety issues, we will also mentioning in the project objectives. The second phase is that the project infrastructure. When we are going to create the project or are developing, we are going to develop any software project, when so that there are different committees will be there, or different team members is there. Maybe possible if you are going to develop any IoT type projects, at that moment we need to discuss about what is the feasibility of that particular project, and this particular objective is maintained by the project objective team or STIRE committee will be there. And the second phase in the identifying the project infrastructure, what are the some team members? There are, suppose that in your project there are 4 modules are there. In that particular modules, one module is having some risk is there, one module is, another module is only having a little bit of the safety issue required. So in every module having their other needs are there. According to their needs, the infrastructure or a team will be developed. So in that particular way, we have to select the team. Next is the product. When we are going to identify the product and activities, whatever desired product or desired outcome after developing your project, that will be also need a team discussion topic. Then next is the identify the activity risk. Every time may be possible there is a unpredictable problem will be arises. At that moment there is a activity risk should be resolved. Allocate resources. At that moment when we are talking about the allocate resources, in that may be possible there is a human resources are there, or the equipments are there, which type of equipments we are use when we are going to develop any project. So in these particular steps, you can say in the 1, 2, 4, 6 and 7, we need the staffing of the project team members. So now there is a how to understand the behavior of the person, or understanding the behavior of the team. Handling of the people is an important aspect of the project management. There are two aspects are there. The first one is the positivist approach, and the second one is the interpretivist approach. The positivist approach is saying if that particular situation is going to happen, then the result or outcome will be there. It means what, if you are going to making a project, at that moment may be possible that whatever the desired result you already know. When you are using the waterfall model or when you are using the prototype model, at that moment you know the desire of the client. At that moment, this is the positivist approach, that you are going to make the project and that will be the outcome. But the next approach is there, interpretivist approach. May be possible you are using the spiral model, and that moment may be possible the outcome will be unpredictable. Unpredictable model, we are going to, when we are going to use the unpredictable, maybe possible you are particular the non-predictive outcome will be there. So there is a based on the smaller sample, interpretivist approach can be possible, and for the positivist approach, it is based on the development of the system. Organizational behavior, the Frederick Taylor was developing the one model that is also called as a Taylorist model, and in that particular Taylorist model there are 3 main factors are there. The first factor for selecting the staff or selecting the team members to develop the particular project or a software project, there are first things that to select the best man for the job. Best man means whatever the best person who is eligible and suitable for that particular software project which is we are going to develop. The second thing, to instruct them into the best method, and when you are hiring that particular person who is suitable and who is working very hard, after that that particular person should be continue on that particular project. So there is a need of the reward or a motivation will be there. So the third factor is affected by the give the incentive in the form of the higher wages or the best worker. If the best worker, if the worker is doing their best job or doing the desired outcome, so that we have to particular to give incentive or a reward or some appreciation would be there. The condition under which the staff worked as so that the productivity will be increased. The organizational behavior researcher discovered that the state of the mind of the people is changing according to the situation, and also that particular change of mind will influence the productivity. Suppose that if you are not rewarded or you are not appreciated by the person, you are doing very well, you are doing very hard work, but still you are not getting noticed, or you are not even getting reward or appreciation, at that moment the productivity will be decreased. So Taylor's model is saying that these three factors is always involved when you are going to staffing the software project team members. The first one is the selecting the best person with their suitability and the eligibility, and then instruct them in the most appropriate way. And the third one is that if that particular person is doing very hard, at that moment if, at least that particular person should be get noticed or get rewarded and appreciated by the organization. These are the level of organization. When we are going to develop any particular project, there is a three level of hierarchy in the organizational behavior. The first one is the individual. As a team members, there are some employees and the staff is there. These are the individual. The individual perform very well, and the individual is forming the different skill sets, having maintaining the group, and then group perform the organization. So in the organizational behavior, there are two theories are there, the theory X and the theory Y. The first theory is saying that it is the human behavior. Whenever we are doing work, every time the average human don't want to do the work as a dislike of the work. The theory X is saying in the organizational behavior that every human is don't want to do the work. There should be some appreciation, or there is some should be a notification of that particular work. Otherwise, they are dislike to do the work, and there is a direction and control should be required, and people actually tend to avoid the responsibility. Theory X is saying that the people is always tend to avoid the responsibility. Then the theory Y is saying that if you are getting rewarded, or human can learn to accept and the further seek the responsibility, and they are also trying to do hard work, and the imagination and other creative qualities are also widely distributed. So for how in the Taylorist model, there are three factors: selecting the best person of the job. So the right person of the job, how we are going to select the right person of the job, there are factors. The factors such as the software tools are there, some methodologies are there, or if you are selecting the best person, maybe possible we are implementing some questionnaire is there, some group discussion will be there, so that we can get the right person for the job. The human resource point of view, experience is also point of influence is there, and the person who can communicate very well, may be possible that will be the right or suitable for the particular developing of the software project or in a team. So selecting the right person for the job, there are some key factors are there. If the person is, even though the person is very eligible, all the eligibility criteria of the person is to be fulfilled, but still that particular person is not communicating well, so maybe that particular person is not suitable for the team leadership or a project manager. And the next point is that some questionnaire will be there, or a group discussion should be there, so that that particular person will be, we can know that actually this particular person, when the different situations will be there, that particular person will be handled that particular situations or not, in which type of view. So these are the method for right person for the jobs, how to select the right person for the job recruitment process. So there are two type of person, that is a maybe eligible and the suitable person. First of all, creating a job, when the project manager need that there is a team should be formed and the project objective is clear, that is the STIR objective or the STIR committee is providing the clear objective of that particular project. So they are sending that there is a advertisement. Advertisement is that there is a job specification that these particular type of person we need for this particular project. At that time, create a job specification that is just as an advertisement. The next thing is that the create a job holder profile will be there. Job holder profile says that what are the desired qualification, what are the actual qualification we needed, what are the experience should be there, what are the age criteria, and different criteria will be setting out by the project manager or by the organization, and that particular job holder profile will be uh, advertise in the job specification. The third type, that is obtain the applicants. Whenever their advertisement is published, there are so many particular person, those who need that particular job, they are obtaining, they are sending their applications. After getting that particular applications, there are so many applications will be there, so that the project manager and the team leader will be examine all the resume and the curriculum vitae, and so that and after that, when the shortlisted candidate should be getting an interview call, and after the interview session, we can get the right person. But there are the two things there: eligibility and the suitability. If you are saying that this is the IoT project, we are going to develop that particular project, and we need a machine learning, means there is a eligibility criteria is that you have to know the Python and the machine learning also, and the some sensor knowledge is there, and the suitability is there. Suitability may be possible. Eligibility is what? Eligibility means that that particular person is experienced on that particular field, and they have that particular degree which they required, which in this job specification advertisement is saying that this particular degree should be required, at this particular age should be required. But in the suitability, may be possible that particular person is not fulfilling all the qualification or the degree, but may be possible actually that particular person is do the job very well. At that moment, you have to select that you are going to select the eligible or a suitable person. So we are getting the right person for the process, for the recruitment process, that that particular person is also eligible with the suitability of that particular, so that there is a team, that particular person having a team leadership, and also they are having a particular to manage the team, managing the meetings, and so on. So the suitability is also required when we are going to staffing the project. Next, the instruction in the best way. Taylor's model is saying the three factors. The first one, getting the right person. After the interview process, you are getting the right person for your particular project. Now, that particular project is hired. After that, how you are going to instruct? You should be instruct as a project manager, you should be instruct that particular your interns to the very good manner, with a very maybe possible there is a training is required, so external and internal training will be required, so that particular is maintained by the organization or the team leader. So external maybe by the some commercial training companies can be give training to the new employees, or the internal, if we are going to any internally training is required, so that the colleagues in the organization, they can train that particular person or a new persons. That is a, so that a special effort has to be made for recruiting a new member for the existing project. When a new members of the team are recruited, so that this is the responsibility of the team leader to interact with that particular new interns, maintaining the meetings, and the external and internal training is required. So the internal and external training will be given by the team leader or the some other commercial training companies. Now there is a motivation. The third Taylor's model is saying that the first was the best person will be hired, and the second is that to instruct in the best way, internally or externally training will be required, And the third is that motivation. The motivation factor is saying that there is the motivation is the driving force. If you are not motivated that you have to do the job that on that particular time, you are not getting the desired result. So every time we need a motivation. So there are three types of motivation model. The first one is the Taylorist model and the Maslow hierarchy of needs. The Herbach two-factory model and the expected theory of motivation is there. The first model, Taylorist model, is saying for the motivation model, actually, why we are going to get a job? Why? Just because of the salary. Those simple, if we are saying that you are placed in a very good company, it means what? You are getting a higher packages there. So Taylor's model is simply saying with the financial incentives is there. The motivation factor or the simple motivation is the particular money. Or there are the two factors in the Taylorist model, that is a piece rate and the day rate. When the workers are paid fixed or a handsome amount, they are producing something and then they are getting some particular handsome amount, then it is a piece rate. And day rate, when they are working as much hour or 8 hour hourly basis, they are getting payment of their whatever they are doing. So these are the may be possible. There is a simple day rate and piece rate that in the Taylorist model. The next is the Maslow hierarchy of need. In the Maslow hierarchy model, that money is a strong motivator. According to the Abraham Maslow, they are saying that the money is a strong motivator. When the money is there, so but the people will be motivated every time with a different things. It can be easily understand that people will always feel the dissatisfied in a, and always these particular dissatisfaction level changes over time. We can take an example. In this time you are a student in this so you are motivated according to your placement. If you are hired in a very good company, you are motivated for, you are getting the higher package or a higher salary, that is okay for you. And in the second case, when you are getting experience with a 4 or 5 year experience, now you want there is a some promotion should be there, or every time, it means what, every time phase will be over. At that moment, that every dissatisfaction are there, or that the dissatisfaction level is changes over the time. Every time the level of hierarchy, whatever you need, that particular one will be fulfilled, then the higher needs will be emerged with that. So the Maslow hierarchy needs are there. The first model is the psychological model. In the psychological model is that the good employment. First, we need a good employment. You are getting the in a very good environment, working condition are there, a very good salary, handsome amount is there. That is a psychological condition, so that you can get the particular psychological level. Second, when the psychological level is completed, that you have in this, next is the safety. Means what, there is a, now you have a bank balance, the long term employment is there, or a government job you are getting, then this particular safety will be involved. Now the psychological and safety level will be completed. At that again the psychological and safety will be completed, then the social level will be immersed. It means what, every time your dissatisfaction level will be changes over time. First, we need only job. After that, we need the handsome salary job. Next, the working conditions should be good. Next, the social well known particular job will be there. So every time that particular job will be there, means psychological condition will be fulfilled, then the safety will be needed. The social values will be fulfilled, then we need a status or a recognition will be there. After that, when all these things are to be completed, you get a report, you get the esteem or a status is there, you have a bank balance, you have a well known employer is there, everything is there. Now you can get, you want, there is again the dissatisfaction is there. This dissatisfaction level is always changes over the time. So this is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. The third model is the Herberg two factory model. There are two factors are there. Two factor model is there. The first model of the motivation is there. That is a hygiene or maintenance factor. Maintenance factor means you are getting a job, and that particular job is having a working conditions are good. The safety issues are measured and everything is very good. That moment there is a hygiene or maintenance factor is there. The second one is the motivators, make you feel the job is worthwhile. Actually, whenever you are going to develop any project, so maybe possible that particular project is like for the humankind, or you are going to make any particular software project that is for the welfare of the humankind. At that moment, that is the motivation that you feel that the job is very worthwhile, or there is some challenges when you are going to make the software projects. That these are the Herberg two factory model is there. The next one, the fourth one model is of the motivation model, is that expected theory of motivation. The expected theory of motivation is saying that every day there are three factors are there: expectancy, instrumentality, and the perceived value. Expectancy is there. There is a belief that if you are doing hard work, not the smart work, if you are doing hard work, then the better is the performance is there. And the second is the factor is instrumentality. Instrumentality means that there is a belief that if you are doing very hard work and you are getting their desired outcome, you should be rewarded or noticed. So this is the instrumentality. And the third one is the perceived value. Whenever the expectancy and the instrumentality will be fulfilled, the perceived value or the resulting reward will be there. So motivation value will be high. If the motivation value will be high, then these factors will be high. Means if you are motivating that this particular software project is for the worthwhile, then the expectancy means you are doing very hard work. The instrumentality will also be increased, that the better performance will be there, and the perceived value is there. Then definitely you will be getting reward or the getting some appreciation. And this is the Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model. The Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model is there. It is based on the 5 factors. The first 3 factors involved for that your job is meaningful, your job is very good at the stage, and the second factors involve the about the feedback of the particular job, that whatever your particular software project you are going to make, that particular project is very worthwhile. So there is a first 3 factor of the Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model. The first one is the skill variety. There are different set of people is there, different set of skills having there. So these are the skill varieties there. The task identity, whatever work, which type of work, which type of module you are going to implement in the software project, this is the task identity, and all the task identity is there. The task significance is that you are influencing the job influence of the others, and the autonomy is about the way you do the job. This is the Oldham-Hackman job characteristic model. These are the 5 values: the skill variety, task identity and significance, autonomy and feedback, so that you can get the motivation